Okay.
I like the fatwa episode where he gets a fatwa put on.
Dude, this like kind of tops it in a weird way.
Really?
Yeah.
What does he do?
He in Jeff Garland.
Yeah.
Keeps getting mistaken for Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God, that's freaking hysterical.
And Larry keeps getting in trouble for accidental sexual harassment. And then he decides at one point to start wearing a MAGA hat because he doesn't want anybody to talk to him.
That's great.
And he's just like at a restaurant and people are like, don't want to sit next to him.
That's good. And he loves it. It's a person repellent.
It's hysterical.
That's great. I always thought he looks like multiple people. What's his name?
Jeff Garland?
Yeah. He looks like Big Pussy.
Yes.
Bobby Bacala. Right? And I had another guy that he looks like. Oh, God. I think more Bobby Bacala than anybody else.
Bobby Bacala. That's great.
That's even in The Sopranos. You remember that episode?
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? That's me. And that's Bobby. Is this from my trial? Junior, it's a movie.
But the episode's funny because it starts out with him having like a lot of stubble. So he looks like
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
He does look like Harvey Weinstein. Have you seen the John Moxley karaoke clip yet? I have not.
No.
All right, we're going to get going. Weird Hour. We had
Lincoln.
Hey, Rocky. Oh, he's frozen. Here's a little preview. We had Rocky Romero on. Earlier, we recorded the clip. We're going to be posting that probably. We got to figure out how we're doing the schedule for shows today. Maybe we'll talk about it live while we do this. Let's get it out there that we're doing this. Just you're playing with my Matt Riddle Wrestle Buddy. You're playing with what part of that Matt Riddle Wrestle Buddy? You know how the Wrestle Buddies, the nose was always hard? On the Matt Riddle one, it's the pee-pee.
Yeah, I'm going to say my joke out loud. Is it really just your penis with a wig on it? Matt Riddle wig.
Dude, he sends me all this weird Matt Riddle stuff.
Me too. It's fine.
Just all this like hair clippings, nails.
Keep on keeping on, man. I'm
Listen, we're in 2020. Nobody judges anymore.
Yeah. I ain't gonna riddle shame you.
You could be into all the Matt Riddles.
Several Matt Riddles.
I found a picture of me and Matt Riddle. I got to send it to him. I wanted to taunt him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Evolve.
Oh, okay.
Did I ever tell you about how Coco fell in love with Matt Riddle?
Yes.
Like romantically, almost.
He's such a dude.
He's so cool, and like his hair, and he's like so metal. And I brought the bro shirt with the one that's like the NWO one where it says bro. And then I bought the hat and the wig and the underwear, and then I started buying his OnlyFans stuff.
Oh hell yeah!
That's what he told me.
Oh, so good.
All right.
Subscribe to his ManyVids account.
ManyVids. Yeah, and I'm like, hey, can I buy your trunks unwashed?
Oh, boy.
That's what he was doing.
He's such a dude.
He's such a dude. I love him. All right, guys. Should we start? Let's do this.
Put a wig on that wiener.
Put a wig on that wiener.
That's a new t-shirt. Put a wig on that wiener.
Yeah, Derek, put a wig on that wiener. All right, we'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian, and I'm joined by the wig master, Rich Stambolin.
Oh, yeah, baby. And he means that because I'm a big fan of the colonial days of America.
Is that what you just dress up like you're in the 1700s?
I just wear a big white wig sometimes. It makes me feel good about myself. What's for breakfast, wife? And then I punch her in the stomach like those guys used to do.
That's just how it works. Happy
care.
WrestleMania. Happy Royal Rumble week.
Happy both.
Happy both.
Happy Wrestle Rumble.
We just did an interview, great interview with Rocky Romero. Should be posted within the next day or two. What a great guy.
Really
like a sweet guy.
Total sweet guy. Really nice dude. Very endearing. No pretense whatsoever, which is always great. You never know when you interview people of certain celebrity if there's going to be a little bit of pretense, but no pretense. That was great. You know, it was awesome.
One of our more stable interviews we've done.
Yes.
And I mean that not mentally stable. Well, maybe actually. I mean that in the sense of technically not a disaster. And you could tell that this guy knows what he's doing because he produces music and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you got a link? He clicked on a link and there he was.
Beautiful.
Other times I got to, it's a whole song and dance to get him going.
That's a good way.
A lot to talk about. Obviously, we're approaching my favorite pay-per-view of the year, Royal Rumble. Not that much hype this year for the Rumble.
Well, I mean, look at the last couple of weeks of WWE programming.
They've not done a good job.
Honestly, like it drives me nuts. Like, I'm not going to talk about fans for once. I'm saying it drives me nuts that people are like, we should tell WWE what to do. Listen, they're not going to listen to you. They've never listened to you. During this entire Rusev Lana thing, nobody's listening to you. Nobody's listening to anybody. And that closed out Raw last night. That is mind-blowing to me.
Yikes. And like a 3-minute match.
Let's talk about that. Go home show. It ends with the jumping the shark angle of Rusev and Lana. I feel like this is, I don't know what it is, but like maybe I'm getting older, but as a fan, that kind of stuff is such a turnoff for me for the wrestling.
You mean the storyline or
the ongoing nonsense? Like, yo, this should have been done ages ago.
Yeah, but the problem was, remember, they started it with no pay-per-view online. Remember, that was the big problem when they started this thing? So here's where by the way, we have a ton to talk about today.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. But I want to talk about this. The show last night was written backwards.
Right.
I mean, literally, the show is written backwards, and Paul Heyman's fingerprints are all over the show, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, top to bottom, good and bad. And, I think people need to recognize that.
There's a lot of good yesterday, too.
A lot of good yesterday. Tons of good. But also tons of bad. So when we look at this card, when we look at the show started off so hot with the ladder match between Rey and Andrade.
Oh, even before that, the Seth Rollins promo.
The Seth Rollins promo started off strong.
Viking Raiders,
Viking Raiders started off strong. Then we go into that match. What a great match. I was watching. My wife was actually watching the match, which is rare for her to kind of be captured by that. So that's my gauge on if something was a really good match or not, or like a segment was good, if she looks up and she starts watching the TV.
Yeah.
Because she does not really care for wrestling. She doesn't despise it, but she doesn't really, like,
Right.
It wouldn't affect her if it was if it blew up and never showed up again.
Yeah, exactly.
So she looked up and she's like, wow, these guys are like killing themselves. And I thought it was a good match. This was like the 18th match that they've had. At first I thought, man, we're seeing this again.
You're talking about the
Andrade and Rey.
Yeah.
And then I watch, I'm like, you know what? This program is what has elevated Andrade.
Yes.
It's the Rey Mysterio program, and they've done it over and over again because it keeps working.
And you know what else works about that, too? Zelina Vega is such a great add-on to the Andrade character, and she's such a great foil for whoever he is wrestling because she really gets involved it's like almost like a Luna Vachon, where she'll get involved very into the match because she knows how to work. Yes. You know, like she's not afraid to, she climbed up the ladder yesterday, did a whole thing with Mysterio right before the end of the match. Pretty excellent. And both those guys are great. Rey still has it. You know, Andrade is the future, clearly. And he's getting bigger. Dude's getting tighter. You know, like I think he's making the most of his opportunity in WWE. Plus, he's engaged to Charlotte Flair. So it's almost like weird wrestling royalty at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
No, absolutely. What isn't it a bizarre universe that Andrade is going to be brothers-in-law with Conrad?
Oh my God!
I messaged him actually that, and I was like, dude, not only I'm like, what a world you're living in.
Right.
Your father-in-law's the greatest of all time. Your sister-in-law could possibly be the greatest female wrestler of all time.
Right.
Right. And then you're married, and then Andrade's your brother-in-law.
This guy's got to start learning how to work.
What's Thanksgiving like at that family? What does it look like?
We got to get Conrad back on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to talk to him.
Trying to set up that con, the Conrad convention?
Yeah, the con. Just a convention of all of his podcasts. I thought the beginning was good. First of all, Brock, people hated that Ricochet segment.
Whoop.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the Ricochet segment.
Yeah.
He's so dismissive.
Yeah.
And people were hating. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to hate it.
Right,
you hate it for the right reason.
Exactly.
You know, when Hunter had the title in like 2003, 2004, people disliked it because it wasn't that he was such a captivating heel that people just got turned off by him having the title
for so
long. This is different. I feel like in this title run is really different for Brock.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's so good at being disliked, and because he's so dismissive, like he's a monster.
Natural heel.
A natural heel natural monster, squashes everybody, beats everybody. It's absolutely he's doing so great with that.
But actually, I think the thing that I'll agree with you 100%, but I think the thing that adds more to it is that he's basically a self-admitted caged animal that hides behind the veneer of his handler / manager and Paul Heyman. And that drives people crazy. Paul Heyman knows how to push everybody's buttons, right? And the fact that these guys have had a 20-year relationship really speaks to, A, their talent, and B, just like the performance aspect of their characters, you know?
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of speculation about what Paul Heyman said last night.
Yeah.
And two high notes of that were, one, he may fight somebody who may not even be contracted by WWE, and somebody we haven't seen in a while, right?
Yeah.
Paraphrasing. So a lot of CM Punk speculation on that.
Okay, I saw that.
And they left him off the graphic for backstage yesterday.
Who?
CM Punk.
What graphic was he on?
They put it was like this week on backstage, and Punk is supposed to be on tonight, but they left him off the graphic.
Interesting.
Yeah. So who knows?
Who knows?
But Paul Heyman guy versus Paul Heyman guy, that would be insane.
When I heard it, I'm like, oh, it's Edge. But I was told,
It'd be great if it was
I was told flat out that it's not Edge and Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
So that's what makes me think it's not. So the other thing is, I hate getting my hopes up for things, because then then you're led to disappointment when it doesn't happen. So
100%.
I like to go into these events like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble without an expectation of anything. But I'm also told a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we know a lot more.
Sure.
So we have and we do our best not to kind of to talk about it.
Right,
We know about it. But I was told flat out, it's not Edge. Don't get your hopes up. But then that makes me think, like, maybe it is.
I think
maybe it is Edge.
That's the weird thing with wrestling too, where it's like, you know, like, oh, everybody's being worked. Who cares? I think it's gonna be, if you go into any of these things, I think this is why we get such joy out of wrestling, is if you will go into any wrestling event with zero expectations, there will be zero disappointments. So do I want to see Edge come back? Sure, if it's a safe environment. Do I want to see CM Punk come back? At this point, I'm like 5%. But that 5% could rise. If I see this dude show up, I may be happy. And it also might be like the ultimate FU if Fox pushes, because this Fox deal was supposed to be the biggest thing in pro wrestling, right? Up until the ratings floundered, and it just ended up turning to slop.
Well, the ratings have been doing well.
Really?
Yeah, they're not bad. I mean, they're holding, and Raw's holding up, and they're holding up. I mean, it hasn't collapsed.
Right.
They're between 2.3 and 2.7, somewhere in there.
But with the build-up, it still could be better.
Of course. Right? I think the number was 3 million that they wanted.
So the interesting thing is that Punk is a Fox employee, and if they're like, listen, we're going to force McMahon's hand, and you're going to win the Rumble, who knows, man? Maybe McMahon will answer to those corporate overlords.
I would say no.
But that would be the ultimate irony.
That would be the ultimate. I'm still adamant that he is coming back. That CM Punk is coming back. I don't know when.
What if Brock is number?
Do you want to see that? Do you want to see Punk and Lesnar?
I definitely. The title? I would if it was like a real. If honestly, I would love to see it if it was like a super strong style match where they just beat the crap out of each other and there's blood everywhere, and at the end you're just like rooting for both guys, you know? Like, I would love to see that. Now, if Brock is standing in the ring all alone, number 30 hits, and you hear Real American, what would you do?
I would drop my pants. Get nude and come on the air.
Points right at you.
Not like that. Not like that. I would.
Guys, I got to come on the air.
I don't. I'm curious how much number 30 is going to play a part in this.
I don't know.
First of all, I'm curious at a number of things. One, is Brock going to withstand the entire Rumble?
Right. Well,
60 minutes.
You know what's going to happen. He's going to dip out in the second rope, be on the ground. Like,
something's going to happen.
Oh, somebody's going to sprinkle some Brock juice on him, and he's going to get up.
I don't know. Yikes! I have no idea.
This coffee's amazing, by the way.
It is good, right?
Yeah,
it's organic.
So juiced up right now.
Oh, me too. I'm feeling it. I put a little Adderall in there.
Oh,
That's what it was.
I'm so focused right now.
I could write an essay. So I don't want to spend too much time on Raw, but it was not a great go-home show. Did not enjoy the second half of it. They were very heavy in the beginning, and then they kind of dwindled on this. Number of things for this. Number one, it's a 3-hour show, and it's very difficult to capture an audience for 3 hours like that. Two, it's a 3-hour show, and it's very difficult to capture an audience like that. I do want to talk about Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins won the tag titles.
Great.
It's so weird that they love doing these non-traditional tag teams as their champions. They tend to do this so much.
They've always done it.
Always. And generally when they do that, it leads to some sort of split.
Right.
I don't think Buddy Murphy's going to turn on Seth Rollins and that's the match.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love that. That's a great match to have.
Sure.
But it's too soon for that. It's interesting how the shine has been put on Humberto, Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black, and Andrade. That seems to be
Paul Heyman guys
for the 4 dudes right now.
Yeah,
that are getting that shine on the Raw side of things. I don't think Humberto's going to be the guy.
No.
That guy has to be behind a mask. His dimples freak me out.
I think that's why he doesn't have a mask. Is that they're like, oh, he's like a handsome kid. People want to see his face.
I don't know about him yet. Andrade is a star. That dude is phenomenal top to bottom. Handsome guy.
Yeah.
Great head of hair. Nice, beautiful beard. He wore this camel coat, and I'm trying to find it for myself.
I thought you were going to say camel toe.
He got this nice camel toe.
Beautiful.
I think he's going to have a huge year. Drew, by the way, another guy.
Another guy. He's coming into his own.
What did you think of him and Randy?
I'm okay with that.
I was okay with it, too.
I'm also like, I ebb and flow with Randy like the tides of the ocean, where I'm like, sometimes I'm like, Randy Orton, there's nobody better. And then sometimes I'm like, I'm all right, Randy. I'm
tell
done.
you, there really isn't anybody better. And I know I have this discussion all the time online, and we get so much shit when we say Randy Orton's probably the best worker in that company.
Yeah, sure.
Just his style is so methodical.
You work with everybody.
He could work with everybody, and I think there's a generation of fans that cannot see it.
True.
They're used to such a different style of wrestling now, where it's so high paced and so quick. I think they can't recognize it because they haven't been brought up in any style like that. But the dude is, even his rest holds, he makes look like $1 million.
It's the big legs.
Huge guy.
Randy Orton versus Okada, match of the century.
Randy Orton versus Okada would be a stellar match.
Yeah,
I mean, just two great workers. Someone said I'm looking lighter, like Peyton Royce in NXT.
I don't know what that means.
Like thinner, or am I like complexion wise?
Derek said that.
Derek has a crush on me.
That's fine.
It's okay. I'm into it. I'm into Derek.
Boy.
I'm into Derek. So I don't know.
Are you the one who's selling him all the Matt Riddle merch?
I am. I am, but it's only my stuff. I put on the trunks and I send it to him. Yeah. Go to my OnlyFans account, guys. Let's talk about Rumble. Let's concentrate heavily on Rumble.
Okay. Should we talk about the card? The full card?
Yeah, let's talk about the full card.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to do, if this is our preview show right now, or we're going to do another preview show, but we have a number of shows coming up this week. We have a watch along coming up. We got to figure out when we're going to record this. We're going to watch a Royal Rumble. Why don't we let the audience pick it at the end of the show?
Okay.
What we watch.
Cool. Let's actually, you know what? Tweet us and message us what you want, which Rumble you want us to watch. And we'll do a watch along where we just watch the Rumble. Last year we did a couple and they were a lot of fun.
They were a lot of fun, yeah.
So this Sunday, last Sunday in January, we're gonna get a 7-match Royal Rumble.
Because the Rumbles are like 2 hours each.
Right. So you're getting Bayley versus Lacey Evans for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
What does that do for you?
I like where they're going because Bayley's really committing to the shit.
Yeah,
she's committing to and Lacey has come into her own as like the Liberty Bell All-American woman, you know?
Yeah.
I want to see this match. I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger on Lacey. I don't think they have to, but give Bayley some more heel stuff. You got Shorty G versus Sheamus in a what's going on match?
Yeah, what is going on match?
It's kind of like a weird thing. You have Roman versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which I think will be fun, but I don't care.
Okay.
I hope it's an immediate. I hope it starts with Roman, and then Corbin comes down on a throne. Roman jumps over the top rope, knocks him out, and just pins him.
Okay.
Like 2-minute squash match.
Okay.
Becky Lynch versus Asuka. I actually really want to see this because I want Asuka to take that title.
You want Asuka to beat Becky?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a possibility?
Absolutely.
You do?
I think Becky has lost a lot of heat.
Why do you think that happened?
It's the post Ronda Rousey booking, the Seth Rollins nonsense, and just like I feel like her promos haven't been as strong as they used to be.
I'm gonna disagree with you on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't evolved.
Okay.
The promos haven't evolved into a world champion promo.
Okay. I'll agree with that. I'll definitely agree with that. We said pick one Rumble, not several.
Okay, so by the way, we got Rumble 92, which is one of my favorites we've done before.
We've done that before. Yeah.
07, 95, 99, 08. 99 is the...
I think we did 99.
99 was Vince winning. I also got 05 and 2014. 2014 is the last appearance of CM Punk.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So you're the Asuka versus Becky. I want Asuka to win. I feel like the undercard is going to be very quick. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan in a strap match. So they're going to be strapped to each other for the Universal Championship. I do want Daniel Bryan to win, but I also want Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble.
Okay. So he's in the Rumble?
I don't know. There's 10 people who are not advertised for the Rumble.
Let me see here. Royal Rumble 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see who's in the Rumble and who's not.
Yeah.
Would you lose your pants if you saw me show up? Yeah.
I'd be like, "How are you in two places at once?"
No. I'm not here. I'm like, sorry, I can't do the party. The kids are, having a rough day, and all of a sudden you hear 3, 2, 1, and it's just me.
It's raining, man.
And and I come out in tighty whities. That's it. Nothing else. And oiled up. No knee pads. Nothing. No shoes.
Just so tighty whities.
Yeah.
Are your hands wrapped?
No.
My
two of my fingers are.
Okay.
These two fingers.
And that's it.
And
you're just completely oiled up. And
oiled up.
Do you slide into the ring so hard?
I just eliminate myself.
You're so oiled that you just slide out the other side?
Right, that's it. And I just leap through the crowd.
Everybody leapfrogs over you? That's great. Oh, my God. Somebody make that in 2K20, please.
Please.
Somebody make an Andrew.
Let's see. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, Corbin. That's 10. Dolph, Otis, Tucker, Rusev, Lashley, Black, Murphy, Strowman, Nakamura, Rollins.
Who's Black Murphy?
20. Black Murphy.
Okay.
Owens and Samoa Joe. So there's like 8 guys not announced.
Okay. So NXT dudes, probably Riddle, Derek, probably Adam
not
Cole.
Keith Lee?
Probably Keith Lee too. Adam Cole. Because you need a big man.
I was told there were 2 surprises.
Yeah, from NXT.
No, like 2 like legends.
Kenny Omega.
two guys that we don't expect.
Okay.
Maybe a 4, but they got 2 down.
100%. Because is AJ Styles listed on that? Or
yes.
Because they need that Rumble pop. Like who's gonna deliver that Rumble pop? Who do you think would deliver the Rumble pop? Edge, CM Punk. Who else? RVD.
CM Punk is not gonna be in it.
Okay.
I could tell you that.
Booker T, Carlito.
Booker maybe could be in it.
Oh,
John Morrison, he's not announced in it, right? Does he have a match? Does Morrison have a match?
I don't know.
He doesn't have a match on. Okay, so Morrison.
Yeah. Well, him and Kofi. Is Kofi announced?
Let me see here. Sorry, I just closed it out.
Because they gotta do like.
Kofi's not announced. Morrison is not announced.
Okay.
Do
you think people want to see like the crazy non-eliminating things?
Is Miz announced? No.
Okay,
you got Miz, Morrison, Kofi, Big E.
Sure.
He's not announced, so that's 4 right there. And you got 4 from NXT, and you got 2 surprises.
Okay.
No, or Yeah. No. You got 2 from NXT. I would say 4 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Morrison has to be in it.
Yeah.
And Dolph has to be, Dolph's already in it. Morrison
Mhm.
has to be in it. Kofi needs to be in it. Miz has to be in it, so that's 3 right there.
But also, there could be like the backstage kerfuffle.
Oh, somebody gets hit and somebody doesn't come out. Yeah.
Exactly.
8 spots open. That doesn't really leave too much for like a legend.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying 2.
I feel like we're not thinking about the right legend to come back.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, I'm going Kane, maybe Undertaker. I feel like Undertaker's gonna. I have a weird feeling Undertaker's gonna be 30.
I hope so, but I was told no.
Okay.
I asked.
What are you writing down?
You're
just writing down.
I write Anunnaki symbols, the Stargate, throughout my entire shell. This
Are
is
you
what I do.
haunted?
And sometimes they turn into swastikas when I'm like doodling, and I immediately cross it out.
Oh boy.
Because I make like very sharp, jagged edges.
Are
and then
you
I color it
being
in.
controlled by space Nazis?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is.
no.
I mean, literally, this is how I do.
Oh boy.
I just make these bizarre doodles
You wake up in the middle of the night and start doing that
all the time.
and then you look and you're like,
On the
why
wall.
is my hand moving like that?
on the wall.
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. Somebody said.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
No.
he can't. He can't.
Austin.
I would cry if we saw Austin.
You
show
hear
up.
the number 30. You hear the glass break.
Yeah, I would love that. I
Oh,
would
I'm
absolutely
coming
love
for
that.
you, Brock and son of a bitch.
Yeah, I would love that.
The Rock.
The Rock, I would love.
I think the roof would explode if The Rock was number 30. Because again, going into that Paul Heyman thing, like somebody who you haven't seen who's not under current contract, right?
Mhm.
The Rock doesn't have a contract. He can just show up and do whatever he wants. What would you rather see headline WrestleMania 36? The Rock versus Brock?
Rock versus Roman.
Rock versus Roman?
Yeah, I really
Okay.
want to see that.
All
I
right.
do. Because you know that they're going to have a unbelievable
Mhm.
program, those two. I don't
Okay.
know. We'll see. I'm going to go with 4 tops for NXT guys.
Okay.
Tops. I think it's going to be 2, and I think it's going to be 2 legends, 2 surprises,
Mm-hmm.
2 NXTs, and the rest Raw.
Okay. All right. Interesting. It's going to be fun to see like who comes out on Sunday.
I would say Riddle.
Cena?
Riddle should be in it. Remember, NXT doesn't have a pay-per-view.
That is true.
We have Worlds Collide instead.
Let's look at that.
By the way, I think that's a big mistake.
What, Worlds Collide?
Yeah.
And then we have the ladies Rumble match.
Yeah.
First of all,
Nobody's announced.
who do you think is going to win between Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan?
It's a really good question because I don't know who I want. I obviously Daniel Bryan winning it, but they haven't done a good job at
Mhm.
building that for a Daniel Bryan title run again.
Okay.
And do you want to see Daniel Bryan? Where do you want to see him at WrestleMania? That's the big question.
There's a lot of things that they could do, but what's the marquee match? Like Daniel Bryan gets the Universal title, Brock Lesnar wins the Rumble, then they do a title unification match at Mania.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I would love to see it, but I don't think so.
A lot of moving parts. Honestly, listen, there's a chance that it just might turn out shitty.
Yeah.
And then we have the women's Rumble match. Who is announced for that?
Like 4 people. They've
Really?
done. Yeah, they have not announced anybody. So far announced is Charlotte, Alexa,
Nikki
Nikki Cross, and Sarah Logan.
Wow.
That's what I have in front of me. Unless there were more announced last night that I'm missing.
So
Anybody have that?
no, that it was like I just read as of January 21st.
Yeah. So
Um,
they don't really. They've done a really poor job at that.
Who could you see winning?
Charlotte.
Ronda Rousey,
Maybe Ronda comes back.
NXT people.
I can't see. Well, here's the thing. Let's look at that NXT. Let's look at the night before. You're gonna have an NXT show. It's not an NXT takeover, but it's
Mhm.
Worlds Collide. It's NXT versus NXT UK. I find this bizarre that they did not do a takeover this week.
Yeah.
It's a little strange how they did this. So you're gonna have Imperium versus Undisputed Era, which is Walter, Eichner, Barthel, and Alexander Wolf versus Cole, O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's Championship,
That's gonna
which
be
will be a
great.
very good match.
I think Rhea Ripley wins the women's Rumble.
Yeah. Who is Balor facing?
Ilya Dragunov. Yeah.
Dragunov, yeah. Finn Balor versus Dragunov. Great name.
Mm-hmm.
Singles match, you're going to have Garza, Scott, versus Devlin and Banks,
Mm-hmm.
and
That should be fun.
DIY, which is Gargano Ciampa versus Mustache Mountain.
That's gonna be match of the night.
So
I'm
you're
calling
gonna
it.
have
I'm
5
calling it
matches.
right now.
And this is going to take place at the Toyota Center. So this is not like a dinky building they're in.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the attendance will be because the build for this has been not great. NXT started falling apart a little bit.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. They had a great start to their TV show, and now they've run out of steam. And I think not having an NXT takeover this weekend has done that.
Okay. I think, but WWE, I think a couple of weeks ago, there was a couple of interviews where they were like, oh, the numbers don't matter.
Yeah, sure.
You know, what matters is the subscriptions.
Well,
What
no, the
matters
numbers
is-
do matter. The numbers do matter because they got to figure out what they're going to do with these guys.
AEW has consistently beaten them in the last couple of weeks, correct?
Yes.
And this week, I think, is the show from
The boat.
Boat?
The boat show.
Interesting.
Which they could hit 1 million this week because a lot of people are going to be interested on how that looks.
I'm pretty excited for it. So, you know, like, do you think NXT is on its way to not being a commodity anymore?
No, I think they'll always be a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
The issue right now with NXT is they have to adapt to that 2-hour time frame.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a difficult time adapting to it. I think going head to head with AEW was a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They could have picked any other night for NXT and changed the night willing. The problem was they couldn't go on Tuesday because the hope is that they move the Fox show to Tuesdays eventually. So they've left Tuesdays wide open. AEW didn't want to do Tuesdays because if SmackDown goes to Tuesdays.
Right.
So they pick Wednesday and NXT's on Wednesday. So you don't really have too many other days to do this.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done Thursday, but that messes up with their travel schedule. So there's going to be somebody's going to make that move and switch the day. It's really going to have to be. They don't want to go on Thursday Night Football either. That's part of the problem also. So you really don't have too many days left, especially for NXT. But, you know, when that number starts hitting 500,000, 600,000, they're going to have to make a move. Because the reality is that's a 1 million viewer show without competition. Easy.
Right.
Easy 1 million viewer show. NXT, maybe AEW is a 1.2 million viewer show.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you cannibalizing the audience? For spite?
Oh, it's definitely spite.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely spite.
You're going to lose that.
I think it's definitely like we need to enforce the machine kind of thing, you know? I'm excited. Like NXT, I'm sorry, AEW is doing a lot of fun stuff. Last week's episode was great.
It was fun. But they also do a lot of not so great stuff.
What don't you like?
I'm not crazy about. I'm not crazy about the women's division.
Okay.
I don't think it's up to the level that it should be.
Rocky start, but the talent is there.
The talent is there. Just weird placement. The Dark Order stuff fell apart, and a lot of people
With the fake punches.
Well, that night was supposed to be the debut of Marty.
Okay.
And that's what it was written for. And it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So now it makes a lot more sense on how terrible it was.
Okay.
Because the end goal was something totally different. If Marty,
Mm-hmm.
did I say Rocky before too?
No.
I did. I meant Marty. Sorry, I got Rocky on my mind. If Marty had showed up, what would the reaction have been?
Right.
Compared to what actually happened.
Yes.
It was a very anticlimactic ending where these,
Mm-hmm.
ghouls in masks beat up everybody
Yeah.
that nobody cared about. They also, my biggest problem is they do parallel booking amongst everything.
Okay.
Like, they get one idea and it continues on to everything. Like the Nightmare Collective
Mm-hmm.
and the Dark Order, and then they'll do the similar finish in 2 different matches.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to kind of be careful. They need to be careful they don't do that.
Okay.
One at a time. Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny.
Okay.
What's the difference between them, and the Dark Order?
So
Spooky.
You think it's too much stuff in the similar vein?
Too much stuff that comes close to each other.
Okay.
That's my only problem with this.
Would you lose your mind if the reveal for the Dark Order's leader is the Undertaker?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. I'll eat my shoe.
Okay.
You know what? I will eat my effing shoe live on the air.
Hysterical.
Guys, I also want to remind you, we're going to continue with this, but I want to remind you, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. You can subscribe to us. We're everywhere. But on Patreon, you can fund us as little as $1 a month. You can fund us more if you want. We very much appreciate that. But if you're a fan of the show and you want to continue us doing this, and you can fund us over there at patreon.com. Show your love to us. Also, if you're watching live on YouTube, you can hit that super chat button and fund us. Right at the bottom of the chat, there's a $sign. Hit that and give us your dollars. ProWrestlingTees.com/MattMenPodcast for your Mattman merch. You can buy your t-shirts over there. We have a ton of shows coming up for you this week, and your viewer donations is what keeps us going.
We got a lot of stuff going on. Who gave us a thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Did I accidentally
bro.
give us a thumbs down on YouTube? Oh, they're not talking. Was it you, Derek?
It was Derek.
You guys aren't talking about
Mandy
Matt
Rose.
Riddle enough.
Mandy Rose.
The dude.
So AEW is on a boat this week on the Jericho Cruise.
Very
They
exciting.
announced that Jericho's doing a third one. Very unique building.
Doesn't
I
that
guess.
sound fun,
Vessel. The Russell vessel.
though? Yeah.
It sounds like a great time.
Would you ever do it?
I can't do cruises.
Why not? You
I
get seasick?
get seasick. I get vertigo.
Oh,
really
wow.
bad. Really, really bad.
If you didn't, would
I've
you...
done 4 cruises.
Uh-huh.
I've really wanted to like them.
You ruined all of them.
And I've ruined all of them. Yeah, I can't. No, the first one I went on a Norwegian, 2006, my
Okay.
first cruise. I was great. I was fine until the
Great.
last day.
Mhm.
It's like a fog is around me.
Oh,
my
wow.
my whole balance is off, and I just need to go to sleep.
It's just your hairspray.
Just I'm huffing it. And then I've gone on like really nice cruises.
Yeah.
Like large. I
Splurge.
splurge.
Splooge?
I splooge.
Mhm.
I splurge.
Talk about
when
coming
I
on the
do
air.
this. And I just the experience is miserable for me.
All
Miserable.
right. If that did happen to you,
I would do it 100%.
would you do
In a heartbeat.
Jericho Cruise?
No, I don't want to be around wrestling fans.
Why not?
Yuck.
All right. You don't like anybody though.
I don't like it. I don't want to be around
What
wrestling
is wrestling fans and comic book fans and who else you don't like being around?
Lost fans.
I don't think there's many of them left.
Wrestling fans and anime fans.
Okay, I can see that.
Same group of people.
I can.
Which I love anime and I love wrestling and I love comic books. And I
Right.
like most fans, but you
Mhm.
put a large group of them, you're gonna get some mutants, my friends.
What about Andrew's Aryan fans?
I love them.
You do get a lot of weird messages from the AZ fans.
I do get
from the AZ community.
The AZ community. So who's your pick this year for the Rumble?
Men's or women's?
Women's.
Women's, I'm gonna go Ronda Rousey or Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea Ripley's gonna drop that title to Toni Storm. Ripley's gonna enter the Rumble. She's gonna win. She's gonna go on to face either Becky or Asuka or Charlotte or whoever or who cares, and it's gonna be great. Or
what if Shayna?
I don't think so. I think she's stalwart NXT. I could see Rhea Ripley winning and moving up.
And not Toni Storm?
Yeah.
Interesting.
For the men's Rumble, as much as I want it to be like a CM Punk or Edge, I'm gonna go Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens. Those are my top 3.
Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens.
Or Brock Lesnar. Eat that shirt.
Eat that shirt. There's a video of a possibly drunk John Moxley singing "Sweet Caroline" on the Jericho Cruise.
I'm sure it's funny. He's great. Looks like he's having fun.
And there's a bunch of people dancing behind him. Too much wrestling.
You don't want to hang out with the boys and the fans at the same time?
No.
That seems like it's a lot of fun.
No, because I'm going to tell you something. I've hung out with the boys and the fans,
Mhm.
and I get angry for the boys.
Why?
It just the stupidity.
It's too much?
It's too much. Like some of the things that people say.
You want to gatekeep for the boys?
I do want to gatekeep the boys.
You want to be
They're
a
all my
security
boys.
guard?
All my boys. That's my title of my book, my memoir, and it's me and a bunch of independent wrestlers behind me.
AZ, baby.
All right, so let's talk. What do you think about the men's? How do you think that's gonna play out for Brock? No, for
I
Brock.
just told you. I don't know, man. Like again, I think we're both on the same page. When it comes down to it, he's gonna start at number 1, somehow get knocked out for an hour, come back at the end of the Rumble. There's gonna be like 4 dudes, or there's gonna be 3 dudes at the end of the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's gonna be Brock, Braun Strowman, Daniel Bryan, and then number 30 hits, and it's gonna be the 4th guy in that equation to knock everybody the F out. Undertaker.
He's not. He's not the guy. He's not the guy.
I don't know, man. Like, it's going to be interesting, but that's how I feel like it's going to go. Again, it also might be a horrifying letdown. That's why we got to keep our expectations at a 0 or a negative expectation.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. Big Show.
Um,
What if the Big Show does the rocket punch? What's it called? The lethal weapon?
Oh yeah.
The WMD?
Yeah.
And just like punches Brock out of the ring.
Woo!
Like Mike Tyson style.
I could say some news to follow up on. WrestleMania, I was told is going to happen in Los Angeles next year.
Mm-hmm.
It was between LA and Vegas, and it had to do with which building would be ready first.
Okay.
I think it's going to be LA, and next year is going to be Vegas. And generally, they don't like to do 2 West Coast ones, but Vegas is a very special building for them. Los Angeles is going to be a brand new building. It's going to be 100,000 seater, where the Rams are going to play in Englewood, New Jersey.
Okay.
Englewood.
So
that's a big story there. Other than that, you want to do viewer questions?
Sure, guys, give us your questions.
Saudi Arabia on the 20th.
Okay.
February 20th.
I'm still thinking about you coming out all oiled up to It's Raining Men.
It's raining men.
3,
2, 1. And you know what it is? You know what the Titantron is? It's rain, but instead of rain, it's me oiled up falling.
Oh, that's amazing. That'd be great. That's great.
The Rainmaker. I am the Rainmaker. All right, guys, submit your questions in the chat. We had a bunch of questions here before. I got to find on Twitter, but please submit them in the chat room as well. Let me go to twitter.com and see what we have. Again, we have a lot of shows this week, so I'm trying to pace everything. Let me see. Why is Tama Tonga feuding with Enzo Amore on Twitter?
They're doing a charity thing. Like whatever money that they raise for that match is all going to a charity of a fan's choice, which is awesome.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But I think that's the secret connection between the both of them is that they know where the money is, and they're both very good at running their mouth.
Yeah.
So I think obviously this is kind of like a little bit of a work where they're like, people want to see them fight, you know? Yeah. If you go on Tama Tonga's social media page, it's everybody taking a dump on Enzo. Oh. And if you go on Enzo's, it's everybody taking a dump on Tama Tonga.
That's great.
You know, I think that's what makes money, right? When you see the opposites collide.
You want to have Enzo in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
In the studio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect.
Is he messaging you right now?
I'm talking to him right now. Tim Anger says, hey, Mattman BTC Rich Andrew Zarian, should woman Nancy Benoit be considered for the Hall of Fame for her years of being a valet? And thoughts on Chris Benoit's son wanting to use his father's name and entrance? Rich, I'll let you go first.
Oof. Okay, so this is a loaded one. As much as she would deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, I think they would not do it anytime soon just because it will remind people of the awful thing that happened. And WWE does not want to remind people of awful things.
Yes.
And it's a very much a retcon company where, you know, you saw how they didn't even talk about Chris Benoit until you can start watching his matches on the network. And they didn't even announce that, you know, even people who don't poo-poo the company they get rid of. CM Punk's a great example.
Yeah.
No mentions. Most recently, they took off a lot of Dean Ambrose stuff, just edited them out of a bunch of clips, you know. So of course they're not going to want to draw attention
to the negative,
to the murder, you know. Yeah. What do you think?
So, I don't think Nancy Benoit will go in. She was a valet. She played a pivotal part with Kevin Sullivan in WCW, but she I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I would say no. Chris Benoit, definitely no. I don't see him ever going in the Hall of Fame. The Dave Benoit stuff really makes me sad. Really makes me sad. Did you watch his interview?
I read
with Chris
Van Vliet.
Yeah,
I read the transcript.
Okay, I watched the whole interview.
Uh-huh.
I reached out to Chris on Instagram and I wrote, I'm like, dude, that was really rough.
Mm-hmm.
Like for him as the interviewer.
Yeah.
Very rough for him, and I felt it because I've done hundreds of interviews and I've been put in very uncomfortable, I guess, situations from the conversation.
Yes.
He did a great job at trying to maintain it, but you could see that David is very haunted by this.
Okay.
He's very affected, which he should be.
Right.
in his mind, he's immortalized his father because his father was good to him.
Right.
And he has all these happy memories. And, I understand that. And this incident shouldn't take away anything that he had done previously.
Right.
However, to use his name and his theme and his trunks, the only thing people will remember is the fact that Chris Benoit murdered his wife and child.
Right.
And then killed himself.
Right.
That is all that you will remember from that legacy. The second that happened, and as a wrestling fan, I could separate and watch a match of his and appreciate how good he was.
Sure.
But you cannot, for the long term, do that. There's no way you could separate a murder-suicide and be like, well, that happened a long time ago, and yeah, that was his father, but look at him.
It's always tough to separate the artist from the person.
Yes, but the thing was, the person was okay. He was a crazy guy. The stories are out there. He was in a bit, but everybody was in that business. Like his behavior prior to that of being erratic and being aggressive, that's not a story. Like that was the business of the time, and you kind of had to be like that. Especially imagine him, smaller guy, Napoleon complex. You have to kind of be loud and aggressive to kind of push through.
Yeah.
I don't think any past behavior had anything to do with what he did. I don't think that steroids played a part in his actions.
Right.
So now more and more we know that it wasn't steroids. It was more of the guy had a psychological break, a severe psychological break that came about, and I don't think anybody the signs maybe they were there, but I don't think anybody would have caught on to it because of how people are.
It also seems like nobody was close to the situation.
That's, I like to think there was more to the situation than him just going home and murdering everybody.
Right.
I don't think that was anything. That wasn't the case. I think I don't know. I hope that there was more to it. I really hope that there was more to the situation than just him losing his mind. But I think the reality is that the guy had severe psychological issues, and concussions don't help with the situation.
Right. Is Rob Van Dam your hero?
Rob Van Dam right now I cannot believe that's his gimmick in 2020.
It's the best. I think it's great.
Yeah, I cannot believe that's his character.
I'm totally okay with him doing a late 90s gimmick in 2020 wrestling.
He is Val Venus.
Right. And now Val Venus is Rob Van Dam.
He's Rob Van Dam, yeah.
Does Chyna ever get in the Hall of Fame on her own merit?
Yeah.
At some point, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Who do you think should go in this year? Who do you think should be one of the guys? I think Bulldog, definitely.
Bulldog, but you already have, what, NWO and Batista?
NWO and Batista right now, only.
Those are pretty big heavy hitters.
So, here, you have the group, right? The faction.
Right.
You got Batista as a headliner.
Is
right?
Batista the headliner?
I think so.
Okay.
As of now.
Posthumously Bulldog?
You need, who's going to be the female Hall of Famer?
Did they do Trish Stratus already?
They did Trish.
Did they do Lita?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I know Trish got in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who the female person's going to be.
Kelly?
Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have the legacy one. You're going to have an old time. They follow a formula every year.
I'm gonna throw my hat in for Kane this year.
Maybe Kane.
Yeah.
Maybe Kane.
Because between Kane and Batista and the NWO,
you need a 90s guy, you need an 80s guy.
You need a celebrity.
I really think it should be Bulldog.
Yeah.
It's the right time for it. Unless they're waiting for that time.
Who's your celebrity?
Who's my celebrity?
Hugh Jackman.
Sofia Vergara's husband.
Manganello?
Yeah. Joe Manganiello.
What's Menounos?
Maria Menounos?
Yeah.
In the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. They put Drew Gary in the Hall of Fame and Snoop Dogg.
It's so stupid.
So
isn't Arnold in the Hall of Fame? Is Sly in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Arnold you can see more of.
Why is Arnold in the Hall of Fame? Why is Arnold in the Hall of Fame?
Come on, the Hall of Fame. That's why. Why not?
Yeah, it's Arnold.
I think he is in. I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Andy Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman?
Lito's 2014.
Okay.
Victorious as transferring to Heat. That's a good one. I'm okay with that.
It's okay.
Any other questions before we wrap it up for today? Quick show.
Will we get Hogan's one last leg drop tour in 2020, brother?
I don't think it's possible.
No?
Yeah.
I'm almost there, brother. He's been saying he's almost there for the last 5 years. Brother. Why is Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame?
Because Kane tombstoned him 5,000 times. Right? Isn't that it?
I think so. I think like if you're a celebrity, Donald Trump's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Donald Trump's in the Hall of Fame. But Donald Trump, people don't realize what a pivotal part he played in the early WrestleManias.
2 back-to-back Manias.
Yeah.
Hair versus hair match.
But there was way more to it. I think there was financial reasons. There was a lot going on with those early Manias.
That dirty money.
A lot of money was in there.
That gross money.
Well, remember, they did it at a casino, right? They did it
Right,
at Trump's casino. So those sellouts were bought tickets.
Right.
That's how casinos work.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, if you do a show at a casino, the casino secures like 75% of your tickets. So it like when WWE did that show at Caesar's Palace in WrestleMania, what was it? 9? WrestleMania 9? Right? Which one was Caesar's?
9.
That terrible WrestleMania?
I like that WrestleMania a lot.
Did you watch the togas?
Because Macho Man was on commentary.
Yeah.
And he got brought out on a. Who do we got here? Okay, not in the Hall of Fame. Jericho, Kane, Owen Hart, still not in the Hall of Fame.
Owen Hart won't go in due to the legal issues.
Big Show.
Maybe it's time for Big Show to go in the Hall of Fame.
Ivan Koloff, The Rock. I am reading off a list of not in the Hall of Fame right now.
Did we discuss Tessa Blanchard? We did, right?
We did.
She won the title. Did we discuss that? Okay.
We did. Paul Heyman.
Chuck Norris.
Demolition.
Do you put all of ECW in the Hall of Fame?
I would say no. I would say you do separate.
Eric Bischoff. Definitely should go in the Hall of Fame.
This is an interesting list. Demolition.
Not in the Hall of Fame, huh?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Giant Baba.
Okay, good pick.
Rob Van Dam.
Good pick.
Rob Van Dam's a good pick for Hall
yet,
of Fame.
He won't go in yet.
Yeah,
They're going to wait.
Luger.
He's a good pick because he's on good terms with them right now.
Cornette.
Not happening anytime soon.
Dynamite Kid.
No, he is in the Hall of Fame.
Is he?
Isn't he in with the Rock and Roll Express? Didn't he do the thing with them?
I don't know.
Yeah, I believe he put them in.
I'm so bad with this stuff. Dynamite Kid.
Dynamite Kid will not go in the Hall of Fame right now.
That's there's a page 2 of this. I wonder how old this list is. It might be a little outdated because this list also has Vader on it, and I think Vader was posthumously inducted.
But Vader was not inducted.
You sure?
Yeah.
His kid didn't come out and do it.
Who
am I thinking of?
I don't know who you're thinking of.
Steiners.
The Steiners are not. I would love to see the Steiners in there.
You want to see Big Papa Pump in the Hall of Fame?
Big Papa Pump, holla if you hear me.
Muda. But Muda never did WWE, right?
Muda. No, yes, he did. Early.
Right. Okay.
Early.
The Crusher.
The Crusher's not in the Hall of Fame. He could go into Legacy.
Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser should go in, absolutely.
Liger
should go in, absolutely, because Liger did a WWE show. No.
He did a few, yeah.
He did one early, like house shows.
Christian? I want to say.
Christian's in it.
Yeah, I want to say like a lot. JBL, because he's in it, right?
JBL should be in it. I don't know if he is.
Psycho Sid, Pillman.
Sid 100% should be in it. Pillman 100% should be in it.
Bundy.
Ted?
Yeah.
Ted Bundy?
Ted
Bundy should be in it.
Goldust. Yes, at some point Goldust, right?
Goldust, but not now.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Dr. Death.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams definitely should be in it.
This is interesting. I like some of this is inaccurate. Some of this is accurate.
Christian is not in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Edges. Christian is not.
Jim
Johnson.
Jim Johnson, definitely. Bam Bam?
Bam Bam Bigelow should definitely be in it.
Baron Von Raschke. This is stretching. Sable. Sable would be a good get.
Are you guys ready for the grind?
Was it called the grind?
Lawrence Taylor. LT.
My
boy.
I want to say he's in the Hall of Fame.
LT's not in the Hall of Fame.
Mike Rotunda. Regal.
William Regal for sure. Sabu.
I would do.
Can you imagine that Hall of Fame speech?
Again, I would do all of ECW or Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman is its own thing. I definitely think ECW is its own thing.
Because the Dudleys made it.
Made what?
They made it into the Hall of Fame.
The Dudleys did make it into the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
So you would need a Rob Van Dam for sure.
All those guys. I mean, listen, Dreamer, Van Dam, Sabu, Taz, Shane Douglas.
Sure.
Okay, even Shane.
The The core, like what you Raven, what you remember
Raven.
as ECW.
Okay, what do you remember ECW? You tell me what give me like the 5-6 guys.
Immediate.
Raven,
Dreamer, Taz, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and Tajiri because I love Tajiri.
Okay, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I would say Van Dam, Sabu for sure.
Mhm.
Van Dam, Sabu, Taz.
Right.
I got really into ECW. Like I watched from like 96 on, but
Sandman.
really into it. No, you know what's funny? He didn't.
Mhm.
I missed a lot of the Sandman stuff because I got into like 97, 98
Okay.
when the Triple Threat were happening. So like Chris
Okay.
Candido, Bam Bam Bigelow,
Okay.
Shane Douglas,
Just Incredible.
later on Just Incredible. But ECW for sure it's Van Dam, Sabu, Taz,
Right.
and Shane for me.
Okay.
That would be my top 4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Shane Douglas.
Dreamer. I'm sorry, Dreamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's pretty much the core. Van Dam, Sabu, Taz, Raven, Dreamer, Funk.
And I'll throw New Jack in there too. People tend to forget about New Jack.
New Jack. Oh my god, dude! I had a weird dream. Can I tell you my New Jack dream?
Please.
I swear to God, this was my dream last night. That he came out in the Royal Rumble, and he fell on his way out, and he just laid there.
Imagine if he shows up at the Rumble with like 2 trash can lids and just.
But that's what it was. That was my dream. He came out with the shopping cart and the thing, and he tripped and fell and didn't get up. That was my dream.
Is that your pick for a Royal Rumble?
New Jack. And he had the bootleg theme. He didn't have the actual theme.
So
Do you know
good.
the WWE Network version of it?
No.
It's really funny.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. But that just like seeing, you know what's funny about like those ECW guys is like they've continuously done stuff together, like
30
since
years.
ECW.
Yeah,
you know?
they're in their own bubble.
And it's great. I mean, like I think Dreamer's a genius. You know, I think Bubba's a genius.
Bubba is a genius.
But they do a good job of like, they've always done a good job of keeping that fan interest there, where they're not overexposing. Like Sandman will still show up and kendo stick somebody, but it's always a surprise, right?
Yes, always.
You know, Hardy Boy is a good pick.
What's your not favorite, but what's your favorite ECW match? I got 2 very easy answers for me.
It may be the Sabu Taz barbed wire match where they really F each other up.
Did they have a barbed wire match?
I think
was
so.
It? I think it was Terry Funk. Sabu Terry Funk. No, Sabu Terry Funk. That barbed wire.
Terry Funk?
Yeah, the match that was too extreme for ECW.
What am I thinking?
You're thinking Sabu Terry Funk in Florida.
What is the Taz one I'm thinking about?
Taz and they had so many.
Yeah. There's a couple of standouts. Anything with Terry Funk is awesome. What about you? It may also be the Dreamer Raven blow off.
The Dream with the chair. Yeah, that was good too. Okay, so here's the thing. Mine would be Heatwave 98.
Okay.
Shinsaki and Hayabusa versus Sabu and Rob Van Dam.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, great match. Then I would go Jerry Lynn, Rob Van Dam. I can't tell the first one or the second one.
I think the second one was better.
Second one was better.
That's a dude.
Jerry Lynn, underappreciated.
Underappreciated, underrated. That's a guy that like he should have been on top because he was with WWE for like a little bit, right? Before he went to TNA.
Yes.
And then they reignited their feud in TNA, which was great.
Bit.
Yeah.
And they had that terrible match in WWE.
Yes.
Terrible match in WWE.
That's what happens when you overproduce these guys.
Super Crazy and Tajiri. Another great. They had like 18 matches.
Do you count the matches from One Night Stand?
No.
Okay.
Don't count those.
From
I count like ECW.
Not the non-WWE. I'm talking about the non-WWE One Night Stand. The first one. Where it was all ECW matches.
I mean, those were great, but nothing really stood out there. It wasn't like, I mean, listen, that was a phenomenal pay-per-view. They did such a crazy buy rate for that show.
Mhm.
It was like 700,000 people bought it.
I think I remember. I keep thinking he's still watching us.
He is watching us. Rocky's still watching us. Hey, Rocky. So look at that smirk on him. There was so many of those, dude.
Mike Awesome is another dude.
Mike Awesome and
Masato Tanaka.
Masato Tanaka.
Tajiri versus Nunzio versus Super Crazy was a good one. Most Tajiri matches were good. Jericho and Storm
at the show was good. Yeah, but I don't count that.
This is pre.
That's post.
It's good stuff, man. This is gonna lead eventually into us doing an Invasion show again. We can do an Invasion show.
Can we do the Invasion show?
Also, by the way, this is our I think this is our
5,000th show?
286th or 7th episode.
Jesus.
So we're gonna have to do a 300 episode bonanza at some point.
Oh, we should, yeah.
Within the next few weeks.
Yeah, let's plan that.
The weather's gonna be a little nice. We should do it outside.
You want to do it outside in the lawn?
While the planes pass over.
Let's do it outside.
How about a Marmen Hall of Fame? The Marmen are pretty good.
The Marmen are great. I love the Marmen. All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. All right, guys. That's it for this week. Actually, that's it for today. We're gonna have multiple shows this week. Rocky Romero interview coming up. Should be posted within the next day or two. We have this show. We're gonna be doing something for Rumble, and then a watch along. When do you want to do the watch along?
Ooh, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. And you guys pick it. Okay, guys, submit your watch along questions now. Let's pick the watch along right now. So put them in. Put them in the chat. Which Rumble are we watching?
Just
bang, go.
Just pick one.
Pick one. Pick a year.
Yeah, pick a year and let that be your comment. No, don't put a reason on it, and don't put multiple years. Just say.
I don't want a reason.
I don't want a reason. I don't want a reason.
You just want a
year. I just want the number.
Okay.
Easy.
Large
number.
says 97.
Transferring Heat podcast 95. Jansen Burroughs 15. Is that the 15th Rumble or 2015?
2015.
Okay. MG Geek
2005.
2005.
95, 15, 97, 2005.
Mattman Hall of Fame. I'm with it.
I don't know what else we could
2005. All right. We have 2 for 2005.
We have 2 for 2005.
All right.
It might be 2005. What was 2005? Let's see.
We're like about to pick 2005 right now.
Yeah, I don't even remember. 12,000 people were in attendance. It was Ric Flair was number 30. Who won this one?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair won this Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Batista won by eliminating John. Oh, is that the one? That's the Vince McMahon one, where he tore his legs in half.
Oh man! All right, this is I think. Let's see, guys. If there's any other people who want us to do any other Rumble, you have like 2 minutes to get your numbers in. Otherwise, we're gonna end up doing
2005.
2005 Rumble.
I guess that's the one. Let's do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
We got another 2005.
4, 3, 2, 1. 2005. All right, we're doing 2005.
All right, excellent. 2005. Right. Cool.
All right, guys, that's it for this show, I guess. See you later.
Later.
All right, I guess we're doing 2005. Oh, that's the one that they beat the shit out of Daniel Puder, too. All right, we'll do 2005. It is what it is.
Cool.
I am what I am. That's all that I am.
Andrew Zarian, the Sailor Man.
I am the sailor, Andrew Zarian.
Batista.
Ba-bum, ba-bum. All right, guys. See you later. Take care.